Hey everyone, welcome back to basketball. We watched the All-Star game over the weekend and it was definitely one of the worst ones we have ever seen. So, what would we do to make it better? So, on Friday, it was the Celebrity game and the Rising Stars game. The Celebrity game, I don't know, in my opinion, there wasn't not much to talk about, honestly. Like, they had the main point was really about Drewski and Kai Cenat just because they're kind of like the biggest celebrities there. Like, they're just funny in general. I don't know. What do you think? Could they have done anything better?
I mean, I think they could have had some better, well-known celebrities, but other than that, not much they can do. It's just a celebrity game, so.
All right, going on to the Rising Stars game. It was wasn't it a tournament this year? Because I didn't watch a lot of it. You watched a lot of it. It was like a tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 4-team tournament, kind of like the All-Star game format.
So it was like 4 teams with a bunch of rookies and G Leaguers and a bunch of like second-year players on it. Funny enough, they actually did play, like, from the highlights I've seen, they played pretty hard. Like, Dalton Connect hit a couple of threes. He actually won. He was on the winning team of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's never really issue with the Rising Stars players because they're gonna play hard to get more exposure.
Also, there was a comment by Draymond. He said how the winners of the Rising Star game shouldn't really be in the All-Star game. I kind of thought that was like, I guess I see where he's coming from, because he said something like, "Oh, we worked so hard to become All-Stars. Why did they get such an easy path?" It's not really an easy path. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to become a Rising Star. I mean, we gotta give them their flowers too. Whereas like a second round player, like, for them to even get minutes is difficult. It's for them to become Rising Stars. It's pretty impressive, and I think it's a good thing for these young guys to be put on like cable TV and for the whole world to see and like see what they can do. I think it's I don't know, to put them in the Rising Star game. I mean, it wasn't really their fault. I mean, the NBA had to do something to change up the game to make it more interesting.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the real issue is that NBA had to implement the Rising Stars into the All-Star game because the All-Stars don't want to play hard, so they had to force them to play hard against like the Young Bucks because they don't want to lose.
Yeah, I mean, the Rising Star game itself was honestly pretty entertaining from the highlights I've seen. Yeah, I mean, they played hard, and they usually play hard, which is great to watch. Not really any much. I hope the NBA doesn't change that, because that's actually a plus for the All-Star game weekend. The 2 pluses on like that Friday is the celebrity game, which is it could be funny, like watching Drewski and Kai Cenat like just fool around. That's funny. And then watching the Rising Stars go at it, that's entertaining. So I would say Friday was a W, honestly. Now moving on to Saturday, which is kind of more the meat and bones to it, since a lot of people have like their Saturdays and Sundays off. We have first the skills challenge. I didn't watch the skills challenge because I was working, but I didn't get to watch the skills challenge or the 3-point shooting contest. But from what I did see, the skills challenge was just a complete waste of like everybody's time, honestly. What do you think?
Well, the main thing that everyone was talking about in the skills challenge was the Chris Paul and Wemby little stunt that they pulled, and I think that I mean they got disqualified, which is enough punishment, I guess. But I think the whole skills challenge in general is a pretty flawed format. I think that they should go back to the old format. I think I just showed you this earlier, but the 2016 skills challenge format where they did a one-on-one race was pretty entertaining. Because at the end it was like a Isaiah Thomas versus Cat 1v1, and that was pretty entertaining. You see a little guy and a big guy going against each other in a dribbling and shooting contest. And I think with the new modern big men, I think that it could be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at the 2016 one, we was watching Cat and then Isaiah Thomas go at it. I feel like making it a competition where two guys go at it and tournament style is really entertaining. That's from like the clips you showed me. Because watching them just do it is like boring. I mean, even going back to last year where Anthony Edwards just shot left-handed the whole time, it just seems like the players don't really care about this challenge no more. So I don't know. I think either to fix it, you just get rid of it, or just completely like go back to the old style. Because for some reason in 2016 when they went head-to-head, like Isaiah Thomas and Carlton Towns or Anthony Davis versus DeMarcus Cousins, when they went head-to-head, it seemed like, oh yeah, let me beat him. because it's not that serious of a game. It's just a fun little thing, but they took it seriously just because like, oh, I don't want to be the one losing.
Yeah, those passing circles that they had back in the day were like way smaller than they are now. Like right now, you just throw it in the general direction and it goes in. So I think they should add a little more challenge back to that.
I mean, even going back to it, Chris Paul and Wemby got booed during the middle of it, which is interesting to see because the All-Star game is a neutral site. Well, I guess more Bay Area guys are going to see it, but like people from like all over can fly to it and come watch it. All right, cool. Now, moving on to the three-point shooting contest. Again, I didn't watch this one because I was off working, but you actually said you had a lot to talk about and complain about on this one. So what was wrong with the three-point shooting contest this year?
Well, first things first, I think the biggest thing that they fumbled on was the selection of shooters, because they had like the lowest scores that I've seen in the three-point contest. There was like 3 people out of the first 4 who shot in the teens, but Bay Area's own Buddy Hield had 31 in the first round, but then he choked. But I'll talk about that later. The real issue is that they're in the Bay Area and they didn't have Steph, Clay, or Poole. Poole even like publicly stated that he wanted to be, he was down to be in the three-point contest. So I think that the NBA fumbled with that one.
They should have had Draymond versus Poole.
That low key, yeah.
But no, I don't know. The three-point shooting contest for me, I didn't really have a lot to talk about and a lot of issues with it because, I mean, miss or make, it's kind of just interesting to see like who's a good three-point shooter, who isn't. Because like it isn't really like everybody in the league mostly is like a decent to good three-point shooter now these days. Tyler Hero winning it was not really surprised. He's always been a good three-point shooter, so it was nice to see a real three-point shooter win it. Going on to the meat of Saturday night was the NBA dunk contest. Oh man, honestly a travesty. Honestly, like without Mac McClung, it was just terrible. Like it was one of the worst dunk contests I've ever seen. Like I feel like each year it just gets worse and worse, and I don't understand why. The only person that was good that wasn't Mac McClung was Stephon Castle, and even then he wasn't like extraordinary. Oh my, what was his name? Andre Jackson Jr. and then Matthias from the Chicago Bulls, a rookie, completely just like wet the bed completely. I don't know. He was doing hard dunks. Like it's not like he wasn't like trying to get hard dunks. Like he was doing it. But I think the problem with the dunk contest is players don't care about it. Like players are just nonchalant about it. Like they just really don't care about doing it. Mac McClung, he said he literally took weeks to prepare, like jumping over a car, jumping over like a bunch of players. Like he took time to practice the dunk contest, which is super, super honorable. I feel like NBA players just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go and do a decent dunk and I'll be fine. No, bro, that's not what fans want to see. Fans want to see extraordinary, athletic, gifted, God-blessed players do cool stuff. Like that's kind of what they pay to see. So watching Mac McClung, who's the shortest player out of everybody, jump over a car, jump over Evan Mobley, do 2 dunks at once, like it's just cool to watch. And I don't know how they're gonna do it next year because John Morant said he was gonna join in, but I really don't believe that.
Yeah, John Morant put out a tweet. He called out Aaron Gordon and he called out Zach LaVine, and Giannis also joined in on that, I think. So I think if that goes down next year, I'll definitely be watching because that would be. I think that would definitely compete with 2016 because we haven't seen a player with the same caliber as John Morant in the slam dunk contest in a while. I mean, we had Jaylen Brown, but low-key his performance was very forgettable.
If I was Mac, I kind of wouldn't want to come back because y'all pull me out of the G League every single year to just like show me off and I'm done. Like it's kind of disrespectful in a way. But I don't know, there's not really a huge way to fix a dunk contest. It's either get rid of it or just get more all-stars involved, because that's what people want to see is all-stars dunk.
Yeah, I think if they get Ja and them into the dunk contest next year, I think that'll be crazy. But if they don't, I think they should get Bilal Coulibaly because I'm a Wizards fan.
Moving on to the Sunday, the actual main All-Star event. I'm not kidding when I say this. This was the worst All-Star game I've ever watched for multiple reasons. Like funny enough, it had nothing to do with the players. Well, something to do with the players, but not a lot. Because the first 2 games, or a couple of the first games, were actually competitive. Like the Rising Stars gave a good effort against the OGs. Like that was really fun to watch. It was competitive. Like Keontae George was giving buckets to like, I don't know, a bunch of players. But Carrie's getting work to Wemby. Like overall, it was a fun game to watch. And the thing that ruined it completely was the freaking ads. Like, there was such a statistic out, like, in the last hour or 2 hours, we got like 30 minutes of basketball, hours of commercials, hours of Kevin Hart, the TNT cast got like a goodbye, which is like kind of a slap to the face for me, honestly, because the TNT crew, all they ever do is just talk bad about the players, talk bad about the league. All they do is just sit up there and just talk bad about like the NBA, and we're giving them a send off. Like, I'm not a hater of TNT. I love Charles Barkley, I love Shaquille O'Neal, I love those guys. Like, they're funny from time to time, but it's like they're always just hating and it's like giving them a send off. It's like the send off could have been like at the end of the game or like afterwards or something, because like they just ran out the clock, and even the players themselves were like, can we get back to basketball? And for some reason there was a Mr. Beast challenge, and even I wasn't even the biggest hater on it because it didn't take that long to do it. I kind of wish Dame won though, just because the kid was like making me mad, bro. Yeah, the thing that ruined the whole game for me was the advertisements, and Kevin Hart just was not funny, bro. Like he had a whole like conversation with SGA in the middle of it, and SGA was like telling him, bro, like, can we play basketball? Like, like when I was watching him, like, is this like a skit? Like, are they doing something? I couldn't tell if SGA was genuinely mad.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's biggest complaints about the All-Star game were the commercials and like the interruptions in the middle of everything, like to mess up everyone's momentum. I think that's like the biggest complaint. So if they're gonna do send-offs and like halftime shows, they should do it like during the set times where it's not like inconvenient for the players and like the audience.
Another issue like I thought about, like, they need to extend it, because I feel like the first couple games being 40 points, that's fine, but the last game, for basketball reasons, it needs to be like 70 points or 80, because bro, nobody wants to watch players who can easily score the ball score 40. That's just way too little. Like, that's probably why they had so much commercials, because they had to fill up the gap in the void of 40, because they knew the players were gonna hit 40 sooner than later. We're not sure how to really fix the All-Star game in a way, because there's a lot of things they could do. Go back to East versus West, but even though that's always going to be unfair and unbalanced. The elimination thing, it was a good idea. Like the last, like 157 as the target score was a good idea in 2020, but like last year, a couple years back, like the East got blown out or something, the West got blown out, and then like nobody really cared about the final score. This year was definitely not that much on the players. The last game they played terrible on it, but again, that's what you were saying with the momentum. Like, they lost momentum because Kevin Hart couldn't shut up, and it's like they lost momentum and they players didn't care about playing anymore because the game didn't feel like basketball. I feel like a huge advertisement thing. So I get their frustration for the players.
I've seen a lot of people say to bring back the old jerseys, like the old jersey system where they wear their own team's jersey, which isn't a terrible idea, but I think that the old jerseys, like back in the day, were just like way better than they are this year, like currently. So I guess you could make it so that the players can choose which other team's jersey they could use. That'd be a decent idea, I think. It's like for like a little bit of fan service, because a lot of people have been asking for that. And I don't know about the target score. They could bring that back. Didn't they do like you win a quarter? I liked the format where they played to like a set score every quarter, and then the winning team donated to like a charity, so that at least they're playing for something. So maybe they could bring that back. There was an interesting interesting take on the tournament where someone said that they should add an all-star snub team instead of a rising stars team. But I know you're not a fan of that idea.
Yeah, we were talking about it because I felt like that's just insulting to the players that got snubbed. Like, I get you were saying earlier with like how they could have, like, if they win the game, they have the all-star selection. But it's like, I worked all season to be an all-star and I got snubbed. What's the point of me fighting for it even more, I guess? Yeah, I might as well just stay at home and rest than just going out to compete for an all-star selection that won't get me anywhere closer, because I'll just go play harder next year and maybe I'll make it. I don't know. I feel like the Rising Stars being in it worked, honestly, because that game versus the OGs was the most competitive game out of every game. Like, that was a good game to watch. I loved seeing like the young players go out the old players talking about like what if they won? What if the Rising Stars won? Like, that would have been cool for me to see. even though it would have been boring at the last game, but it would have been cool for me to see like these young guys beat these old guys and prove to everybody like, oh yeah, we got it, which is nice. And it would have definitely like put a passing the torch thing, because like that's what the NBA needs desperately, is the passing of the torch. Like LeBron, Curry, and KD, just pass the torch to somebody, bro, please.
I think I agree with the fact that the Rising Stars versus the OGs was probably the most competitive game out of all of them. But maybe tweak the tournament style a little bit for less interruptions in the middle, so that people who want to watch basketball can tune in at the time when the games start and actually just watch basketball. But I guess All-Star snub people, or you can call it something else if you want, so it's less insulting. But like the people who were close to getting All-Star and like were voted but didn't get it, like if they win their first round matchup, they get an All-Star added to their resume, and the team that they beat loses it.
Yeah, maybe it's a thing of like, instead of like gaining something, like getting money or whatever, they have to lose something to like make sure they have to like work hard. Because the Rising Stars, they didn't have nothing to lose but everything to gain. That's why they played hard. The All-Stars already don't have anything to really lose, so it's like, what's the point? What do you guys think in the comments below? How would you fix the All-Star game weekend? We definitely tried watching it, but it's definitely was not great at all. Yeah, how would you guys fix it? And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video.